Mother, do you think we'll drop the bomb? This is Mother by Pink Floyd from the album The Wall. And it's not a very difficult song to play. There's 4 chords to know. The only kind of tricky part is the rhythm. The rhythm's a little bit funky, and the time signature changes for the chorus. The chords that I'll play are a G5 chord, a G with the a C with the bass note G added on. So that's written. It's written as C/G, and then D and F, D major, F major. So let's start with the G5. You know, if you play a regular G chord, it'll sound like this. You'll hear that open B note on the 2nd string ringing. So all I'm going to do is just lift up my 3rd finger there from the G note on the 1st string. I'm going to move it down, just move it down a string so it's on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So that's playing a D note. And then my pinky is going to, my 4th finger, is going to replace that G note. So D is the 5th note in the G major scale, so that's why that's a D5 chord. The C, if you play a regular C chord, like this, just looks like that. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up my 3rd finger and move it down 1 string to play the G note on the 6th string, the E string, the low E string. And so the 3rd fret of the 6th string, it's a G chord, G note, and in my 4th finger here, my pinky is going to play that C. So here's a C, and here's the C/G. So you can kind of hear it's a bit meatier sounding. So let's get into the verse. For the verse, for the rhythm, basically I try not to think about the rhythm too much. I just kind of feel it, and I just kind of, you know, just play along to the song, play along to the CD, and you'll get a feel for the rhythm. And what I do is I just kind of, whether I'm singing or not, I'm thinking about the lyrics, and my right hand is just kind of doing what the lyrics are doing. So for example, it begins, and you can kind of hear that mimics what the lyrics are doing. Mother, do you think we'll drop the bomb? And you notice at the end there's actually 2 backbeats. I emphasize the backbeats, the upstrokes. And then there's a change. And that can be a little bit tricky at first, but you'll get the hang of it. You just practice along and just get a feel for it. Think about the lyrics. So I'm not really thinking about what my hand is doing. I'm not thinking like, okay, I need to emphasize a backstroke now. I need to emphasize the beat. I need to emphasize the backbeat. I'm not thinking about that at all. I'm just thinking about the lyrics, and I'm just kind of feeling my way through the song. And my right hand is just kind of going up and down. It's just, you know, you want to keep a steady beat, a steady rhythm. Sometimes you emphasize the beat, sometimes you emphasize the backbeat. So down, down, up, down. The only other thing about the main verse is you'll hear he's hammering on, in the chord, you'll hear him hammering on notes. So in the G, you'll hear from the open A string, the A note, hammering on the B in the G chord. And then for the C, it's a similar thing on the 4th string, on the D string. He'll lift up his 2nd finger here, his middle finger, and play the open D note and hammer on the E. And I don't really pick out that note as I'm playing. I just strum. I just kind of strum it. So that's basically the verse. That's the tips I can give you for the 2 verses. I'll just play a little bit of it, and you can kind of follow along and get an idea of the rhythm. Mother, do you think they'll drop the bomb? And basically it just continues like that. Mother, do you think they'll like notice sometimes I'm really emphasizing the bass notes. Slow it down a little bit. So that's basically the verse. The chorus, the timing changes. So what happens is he'll be singing, let me think of the lyric, it's hush now baby, baby, don't you cry. As he's singing that, he's on the G5 chord. Hush now baby, baby, don't you cry. So, and again, as I'm singing that part, I'm really just playing along to the lyrics. Hush now baby, baby, don't you cry. So my right hand is just kind of emphasizing either the beat or the backbeat, depending on what the lyrics do. And then immediately he switches to the C chord. And at that point, the timing changes. So it becomes... So it's just down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. When he hits that C, he'll just play 4 bars of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he goes into the F, and that's where the the main chorus begins, and that's where he sings. That's the lyrics. So it just switches between F and C. And sometimes I play the regular C, sometimes I play the C with a G bass. It just depends, I don't know, I guess it depends on how I'm feeling at that instant in time. I don't know. Do what you like. Actually, if you just play a regular C, one finger it just stays on that note. So it's a little bit easier just to play that. But I do like the sound of playing the C with the G note, so. I really like the sound of that chord, so I tend to play it that way. But when he sings the ooh part, he's going up to a D. Ooh, babe. Ooh, babe. Ghost mama's gonna help build the wall. And then back into the G. And that's basically the chorus. So there's 2 choruses, and then at that point, after the first chorus, that's where he goes into the solo. And for the solo, it's just C, G, D. Let me play from the chorus. So. Build the wall. That's the whole solo there, the whole guitar solo. That's the rhythm to it, and then it goes right back into the G. And then there's the second verse, which basically is the same. The guitar is the same as the first, and then the second chorus is pretty much exactly the same as the first chorus, same rhythm, same chords, and that's pretty much the whole song. So it's basically 3 parts. You've got your verse, your chorus, and then for the solo, you've got that kind of bridge there, and that's the song. I won't get into how to play the solo right now, but hopefully that'll give you some tips for how to play the chords and the rhythm. So good luck.